Well, huge week all the way around. You got the fight, of course, is Saturday night. You got the Kentucky Derby on Saturday. You got NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs. The NFL draft is this week. Oh, yeah, and baseball.
The 2-2. Swing and a high fly ball. Pretty well hit right center field. Granderson back at the track, at the wall, leaping, gone! Alex Rodriguez the other way. His 5th of the year, and the Yankees on the board. It's 2-1 Mets.
The call here on ESPN Radio last night. The Yankees take 2 out of 3 in the Subway Series, and Alex Rodriguez hits his 659th career home run. And part of course, the Sunday Night Baseball team is our very own beloved baseball buddy Buster Olney on the Subway Fresh Take Hotline. Good morning, Robert.
What's going on, guys?
Well, you tell us. Let's start with A-Rod and the one more home run. I think there are a lot of people out there, first and foremost, all the people who don't like the Yankees, and then I think even some Yankee fans see Alex's side of this thing, or at least don't like the way the Yankees have handled this business with not promoting the home runs and the way they're going to try and get out of paying these bonuses. So we're now one away. So look at the crystal ball, Buster. When A-Rod hits another home run sometime this week or whenever it is, what's going to happen?
Well, and it's interesting because we talked about this on the broadcast last night, and I really disagree with my colleagues who are in the booth on this. I think it's going to be the most overblown story that we're going to see this summer because it essentially is going to take place out of sight, and it's going to be right in line with the very business-only relationship that the Yankees and Alex Rodriguez have. He's going to hit number 660. At that point, within a couple weeks, I think the Yankees have to exercise this marketing agreement, put it in place. They're not going to do that. Internally, the Yankees believe that because the language and the structure of the deal that they have with Alex, that they aren't going to pay him because any marketability that he had is completely gone by the events of the last 4 or 5 years. And then at some point, Alex's side will contest that. They'll file a grievance. Lawyers will do what lawyers do, and then sometime in the off season, this will probably be decided by an arbitrator. And look, and I know some people wonder, is it going to affect the relationship? The relationship's not great anyway. Right. The relationship is business only. Alex shows up and plays because this is where he has a contract and where he can play, and the Yankees put him in the lineup because, unlike the Angels, they're not okay with the idea of squandering $61 million. And, oh, by the way, Alex is probably their best hitter. So they'll all go about doing the same thing that they've been doing, which is coexisting and not really liking each other.
By the way, looking ahead to this week, the pitchers that A-Rod will face if he plays every day, 27 career at-bats, 1 home run, plus another extra base hit, and 6 singles amongst the pitchers that he'll be facing this week.
Well, it does seem to be a good relationship between Adam Wainwright and the St. Louis Cardinals. It's all hunky-dory there, except for the fact that Wainwright won't be pitching anymore this year with the Achilles injury, doing it in the batter's box. So how devastating is that to the Cardinals? And along with Max Scherzer hurting his thumb in the batter's box, everybody's starting to bring up the fact that, maybe we need to have the DH in the National League as well. Start with the Cardinals, though, and just how detrimental this is.
You can't overstate what kind of an emotional leader that Adam Wainwright is to that team. He is the keeper of the Cardinal way. And he's the guy who is always the leader when the starting pitchers on the Cardinals all get to go down to the bullpen and watch the other guys do their bullpen workouts. He's the guy who in spring training was the one who's telling the rest of the pitchers, look, we need to work on our hitting. He has a lot of impact in that clubhouse. And he's been their number 1 starter in their playoff series in recent years. However, the Cardinals are uniquely able, I think, to handle an injury like this because they have such great starting pitching depth. They've got Lance Lynn, they have John Lackey, Michael Wacha's come back with no signs of the shoulder problems he's had in the past, and Carlos Martinez, who's got a ton of ability, really seems to have figured out some things pitching this year. Guys, going into yesterday's play, they had a 1.97 rotation ERA. That was the best in baseball, and they do have a couple of options in the minor leagues. Marco Gonzalez, who was a first-round pick in 2013, and Jaime Garcia, veteran pitchers coming back from shoulder issues. So it's obviously, an injury that hurts the team, but maybe not nearly as much as it would hurt other teams.
And will this, as Mike mentioned, also Scherzer gets hurt. Pitchers are batting .089 this season on the whole. With interleague play now constantly, you're seeing more American League pitchers have to hit. Do you believe this will bring up a renewed conversation about putting the DH in both leagues?
I think they'll have conversations about it, but I don't sense a lot of momentum for it. And here's the thing. I mean, it's obviously a big plus for the union to do this because you get, designated hitters getting paid in that type of situation, 15 more. And that's something that would be a plus for them. And I don't necessarily think on the management side that they look at that as being something that they want. So the union would have to trade to make that happen. And given how many issues are on the table right now, I imagine that's going to be down the list of priorities.
All right, Buster, this may be tough for you, but you got about 30, 40 seconds to explain what in the wire world is going on with Josh Hamilton.
Josh Hamilton, likely his deal trade to the Texas Rangers will be finalized today. And it's an amazing deal. The Angels are going to eat about $68 million of the $83 million owed to them. Josh is going to absorb about $6 million of that because of difference in state taxes. And the Rangers are going to get Josh Hamilton at age 33 for about $6 to $7 million. I personally think the Angels are out of their mind. They should have followed the Yankees' example with Alex Rodriguez and at least kept him to see if he can still play. And instead, he's going to go to a division rival. And guess what, guys? The last 4 games of the season, Angels at Texas, and Josh Hamilton's going to have a lot of opportunity to get back at the Angels.
All right, Buster, let's talk later in the week. Thank you, my friend, because there's a lot there. There's so much going on right now. It's not the time to do it, but I'm fascinated by that story and what is the right and what is the wrong thing to do. I have struggled with it myself. Our Sports Center is brought to you by Channel